Hey guys, Sandy McDougall here. This is off Midas Touch. Maybe you know the guy's face, but it's just a little bit about the Trump regime, I guess would be a good way of putting it, about his attack on Harvard University, and I guess he's going after other universities. But what I see here is exactly what Putin did in Russia: how to stop people from talking, how to stop people from not agreeing with his policies, and it's just a spiral down. And the one about the guy that is in a El Salvador jail and didn't get due process and supposedly is not a member of a gang, whether he is or whether he isn't, any Republicans out there, doesn't really matter. What matters is taking away the rights of any American. In other words, you start talking against him, if he continues on this path, it doesn't matter if you're an American citizen, it won't matter if you were born there. He'll find a way to get you out. So in other words, as long as you go along with him, you'll be okay, but that kind of sounds like a guy in Russia. Anyway, here we go. Ben's been a little prejudiced lately, but these points are the truth. This is what's happening. So we'll just listen to a little bit of it so you get an idea what the hell is going on and the future of democracy.
That Bloomberg terminal about how Harvard sued Donald Trump. Yeah, Harvard initiated a federal lawsuit in the district court in Massachusetts against the Trump regime because the Trump regime sent Harvard a letter saying that the Trump regime was going to take over the admissions process of Harvard, take over the hiring and firing of faculty process, force Harvard to get rid of all diversity programs, and audit the political viewpoints of Harvard students and Harvard faculty to make sure it conformed with the Trump regime's views of how Harvard should act. Then the Trump regime said the letter was actually a mistake, but then they blamed Harvard for taking the letter sent by the Trump regime to Harvard seriously. So as a result, the Trump regime said, because you took our fake letter seriously, we're going to be revoking $2 billion in funding. Then the Trump regime said, we're going to revoke another $1 billion in funding because you should have known that the letter was not a real letter and you embarrassed dear leader. So now he's coming after you. Harvard said, F that, represented by top Republican lawyers. Harvard is fighting back. The top American research university is suing the Trump regime because the Trump regime's going after Harvard, MIT. I mean, just think about what I'm talking about right now. You got the Trump regime crashing the economy, attacking universities, disappearing migrants to El Salvador and foreign countries without due process, and then justifying that people should not get due process, as Donald Trump also talks about sending the homegrowns, Americans who he doesn't like, to concentration camps. That's
there you go.
The United States of America right now. Oh yeah,
scary stuff, which means it'll spread.
E. coli outbreaks. The Trump